Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this News Now Nation special report here on Facebook Live. Trump's speech to the United States Congress. I am Darrell Dukes. Now, as we are live right here, I'm looking at the live feed from MSNBC, and Donald Trump has not, I repeat, has not left for the Capitol building. He's still in the White House, and as of this time, 8:32 in the East, 6:32 in the West, he still has not exited to make his way over to give his little speech to Congress. Now, no, I would say State of the Union, but since Donald Trump has only been in office for the last, want to say, less than a little over a month or so, it's technically not a State of the Union address. As again, he's only been in office for a little over a month, and he doesn't have a sense of the economy. And again, as I'm looking over to give you an insight of what's going on, I am watching MSNBC's coverage, and Donald Trump still has not exited the White House to head over there to give his little speech. Now, note, according to a couple of White House officials, Donald Trump was working on this speech till about 6:15 this evening, trying to fine-tune everything to make sure everything was up to Donald Trump's standards. Now, note, as of 8:20, nobody in the media or any media organization has gotten a copy of the speech. When it comes down to normally when you speak to Congress, every president has to get some sort of copy of speech to give to a respective media organization. But as of 8:20, and again, I'm monitoring all my sites here, we haven't got nothing. And breaking right now, Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump are heading towards the vehicle. Right now, they are making their way, or about to make their way to the Capitol building. I repeat, breaking right now, President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump have exited to their respective vehicle to make their way over to the Capitol building. Again, this is breaking right now. If you're watching the local watching any of the cable networks, the cable news networks, you can tell it's raining cats, dogs, and Donald Trump's tax returns, because it is not a good day to be going anywhere. It's more like a stranger in Moscow weather. So that I can tell you right now, Donald Trump is literally, and again, I'm watching what I'm seeing from MSNBC here, is literally sitting in the back talking to, if I'm not mistaken, one of his advisors, reading over his, if I'm not mistaken, I believe, yep, that is his speech. Donald Trump is reading over his speech right now in the back of the presidential limousine. He is reading his speech. I can confirm this. Donald Trump is literally reading his speech to, if I'm not mistaken, two of his advisors that are sitting back with him and his wife, First Lady Melania Trump. May God help us all, because knowing how this may go, Donald Trump will go off the cuff. So, yes, he is. Yep, Donald Trump is reading his speech. So, as of, we can mark the time as of 8:30. Yeah, yep, they are moving. The presidential motorcade is moving, heading towards the Capitol right now as of 8:35. We'll take you to at least the top of the hour so that we can get you guys what's going on and what's going on. Yeah, so Donald Trump they literally, the presidential motorcade just left. They're on their way to the Capitol building right now. And by the top of the hour, barring anything happens, but again, this is Donald Trump, Trump will be speaking to a joint session of Congress. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this special coverage, this normally we would say State of the Union, but due to Donald Trump not being in office long enough, this is literally not a State of the Union. Now, how did we get here? House Speaker Paul Ryan sent an invitation to Mr. Trump to invite him to speak in front of the joint session of Congress. And before I continue, walking into the Capitol building right now, Senate Leader Mitch McConnell and Vice President Mike Pence, they are walking into the building right now. Basically walking down, shaking hands, kissing women. Mike Pence is speaking to, if I'm not mistaken, Florida Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Again, I'm watching MSNBC's live feed here, so what I'm seeing, I'm going to relate to you. So far within the last, I want to say, 5-6 minutes or so, we have Donald Trump, his wife Melania Trump, and heading towards the White House. We have right now, leaving from the White House, as a matter of fact, we have Senate Leader Mitch McConnell, and Vice President Mike Pence. They have arrived to the Capitol building, and Mike Pence is walking towards the front where the gavel is to sit right next to House Speaker Paul Ryan, because again, if you know politics, the vice president is technically president of the Senate. In the event if there's a tie or a vote in there, Vice President Pence has the right to break that tie, no ifs, ands, or buts, which happened earlier, as if I'm not mistaken, and I could be incorrect here, when his Donald Trump's education, the lead to the Department of Education, they needed the tie in the vote, which is when Mike Pence came in and gave his the deciding vote. Right now, everybody is standing up, giving Mike Pence the standing ovation. Note, again, this is the side of the House chamber. Both Mike Pence and Speaker Ryan are both wearing blue ties. Again, they are Republicans, so they're trying to, screw with our minds, so to speak. So yeah, so just to catch you on up, what we know so far, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump are their way to the House, to the Capitol building. Donald Trump, as he was sitting in his presidential limousine, was rehearsing his speech. If we know how Donald Trump is, there's a good chance and that he may or may not stay on topic. But according to Greta Van Sutton of MSNBC, according to the sources she has talked to, they say that he will stay on topic. We'll wait to be seen. Now, note the time is now 8:39, and again, I'm checking all my pages, my Facebook, my Twitter, and we haven't got nothing. We don't know what Donald Trump is going to say. And again, according to White House officials, they worked on the speech until 6:15 this afternoon. So again, we literally have nothing. Literally, we don't know what he's going to be speaking about, or his mindset, or how he's going to direct the speech. So only we wouldn't know. At the same time, you guys would know what's going on. And let me just share this real quick. I apologize. So Trump is on his way to the Capitol building. Vice President Pence is there. Mitch McConnell is there. Speaker Ryan is there. So now we're just waiting for the Donald. Now, like I said, this is not the State of the Union, since Donald Trump has not been in office for a while. So we're just going to wait and see what's going on. So again, I'm just doing all this right now as it happens to make sure we have some sort of precedent of what Donald Trump is going to say. So while we're waiting on Donald Trump's speech, copy of his speech, hopefully, let's run over some numbers. The unemployment rate, which again, I'll explain how this works. The unemployment rate is the people who basically is actively looking for work, not the ones who are unemployed and not looking for work. So that number we generally get is most likely incorrect. According to Gallup, the current unemployment rate, or as I call it, the real unemployment rate, is 9.4%. Again, those are the people who are actively looking for work once they are unemployed. And his approval ratings. Now, this is based on a Real Clear Politics average between February 15th and the 25th. That's 50%, exactly 50%. Again, this is the average from Real Clear Politics believe that that mostly people, those 50% is the ones that do not like Trump, and the other 43.8% of the people that approve of what Donald Trump is doing. Now, again, I'm monitoring MSNBC to make sure if anything breaks, I could bring it to you. So, okay, so MSNBC just got back with their coverage. Everybody's just sitting around and talking, and nothing development as of yet. So, so again, I'm monitoring MSNBC to make sure everything is okay. So so in the span of the last month or so, Donald Trump has caused a wonderful world of controversy, and not to mention he fired 2 people, and the current owner of the Florida Panthers was nominated to be one of his, if I'm not mistaken, the Secretary of the Navy. He basically turned that down again due to business ventures, because again you have to if you are in some government capacity, you have to diverse yourself for your business interests. Hence, that's what Donald Trump did once he became president. He basically passed his business down to his sons. As I'm looking at MSNBC's live feed here, Elizabeth Warren has just entered the House chamber. One of the Trump's vocal non-supporters. And if you notice closely, mostly all the House female Democrats are going to be wearing white. I forgot why they're wearing white, but I know it's for some sort of women's rights thing. So if you see some wearing white, some wearing purple, then now you know. As I'm looking at MSNBC's live coverage here, other senators, congressmen, and invited guests are literally walking into the House chamber, where the 45th president of the United States is expected to make a speech in front of a joint session of Congress. And as I just said, that Donald Trump is literally pulling up to the House chamber right now. Breaking right here on the News Now Nation. Again, I'm watching MSNBC's live feed here. Donald Trump and his wife, First Lady Melania Trump, has literally just pulled up to the House chamber. They are literally outside in the not so good DC rainy weather. They just literally pulled up, so within a matter of moments, I want to say the next 15 minutes or so, they are going to be sitting inside. Inside the House chamber. Now, note, Donald Trump is the 45th president of the United States. He's been basically calling the media fake news, his words, and giving out alternative facts. Now, in the recent couple days or so, Donald Trump's press secretary, Sean Spence, has banned or kept out, to use a not so strong word, 3 media organizations, CNN, New York Times, LA Times, from a gaggle. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, what the heck is a gaggle? Now, according to dictionary.com, a gaggle is a group of aggravation or a cluster looking for organization. Basically, speaking behind closed doors, so us, the viewing public, doesn't know what's going on. Speaker Ryan is calling the House into order. Yes, he is. Yeah, Speaker Ryan is calling the House to order, with Vice President Mike Pence over his right shoulder, and okay, so they're basically right now, sorry for the dead silence there. Basically, House Speaker Paul Ryan rather is announcing people into the chamber. So that means that at some given point within the next 14 minutes or so, Donald Trump and his wife, First Lady Melania Trump, are going to enter the House chamber, where there's going to be a lot of cheers and a lot of boos. And hopefully this is how our coverage is going to pan out. As soon as Donald Trump starts speaking, we're going to go live on Ustream, which we will put up the link on our social media so you will be able to watch it. Now, in the event if you're unable to watch it, no worries. We'll post it up on YouTube afterwards to make sure that you guys catch a replay of some keynotes that Donald Trump is going to be saying. Now, note in a case like this, we know the Democrats are going to respond. So, on that note, we're going to, as soon as the President Trump starts speaking and the Democratic response, which I could, which if you allow me one moment, I could probably find who will be giving the Democratic response. Basically, that's basically a rebuttal to what the president is saying. And again, we haven't got no official word on who's doing the Democratic response. And let's see, give me 1 second. Trying to make sure. Yep. Breaking right now via ABC News. We have, with only 13 minutes to go before the top of the hour, we finally have excerpts of Donald Trump's speech. So let me see if I click on it here. And again, I'm watching this on my computer screen, and hopefully it loads up. So just to give you a couple excerpts of what Donald Trump's going to be saying in his speech. And again, we just got this in. Each American generation passes the torch of truth, liberty, and justice in an unknown chain all the way down to present. We spent billions of dollars overseas while the infrastructure has badly crumbled. We began to drain the swamp. Key words, drain the swamp, which, if you remember, that's what Dan Kennedy Trump been preaching. One of the things that he's been preaching to his supporters, along with the wall that that's going to cost us taxpayers between 12 to $16 billion, and have Mexico pay us back the 12 to 16 billion dollars that we spent on the wall. And to give you region more excerpt, as promised, I have directed the Secretary of Defense to develop a plan to demolish and destroy ISIS. Note, if you notice, during the Obama administration, they had another name for ISIS is ISIL, ISIL. So far, throughout Donald Trump's campaign, he's been using the term ISIS, the Islamic State, and a network that, in more of his speech, a network of lawless savages that has slaughtered Muslims, Christians, men, women, and faith and all beliefs. That's what Donald Trump is going. Mostly, what generally Donald Trump is going to be talking about, a policy speech to give his base, the Republicans, something to rally behind. Because so far, all the Republicans, they have a sense of, okay, what are we doing? What's going on? What is our plan? So hopefully, with this speech that Donald Trump is trying to do, give the Republicans a base on, okay, this is what we need to do, this is what we got to do, and hopefully it works. Because right now, if you notice, President Trump has both control of the House and the Senate. The Republicans is ready running the asylum until they have another election in two more years from now, if I'm mistaken, 2018, 2019. Then when the balance of power could possibly change. As I'm looking on here on MSNBC, if I'm not mistaken, that is Congressman Marty Booker talking. And again, most everybody's wearing different ties, trying to do the whole confusing us with their party ID things. And nothing major except for, yep, there you go. They finally got the iris down on MSNBC, because you can see the Speaker of the House there. Let's see. There we go. There you go. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties, the beauty of live broadcasting. So this is what we know so far. Donald Trump has arrived onto the Capitol at some given point, because again, we don't know what type of speech. We do know what type of speech he's doing, but it's literally just been released to us within the last couple of minutes, and we just read some excerpts there. And now Speaker Ryan is once again going to call the House into order to introduce more people into the to the. Okay, so they just entered the court. Okay. Okay, so they. Okay, so they're expecting, again, this is going to Rachel Maddow of MSNBC. Not all 8 justices of the Supreme Court would not be here, so that's literally a new development. And yeah, all 8 Supreme Court justices may or may not be in the hall, the House chamber, once Donald Trump starts speaking. So that's something to what we're going to watch for. And again, let's see. Yep. So again, watching MSNBC's coverage, and they have, like I mentioned not so long ago, some of the ladies, the Democratic ladies, are wearing white for women's rights, something to do with women's rights. Which I apologize if I have the technical term on there. Yep. Let's see. And again, we're trying to find any new updates that may occur. Yeah, so any updates occur. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was Joe Scarborough. Okay, so we just got a picture of, if I'm not mistaken, Joe Scarborough, host of Morning Joe on MSNBC, in the picture sitting in the House chamber. So here's what we know so far, just to recap. Donald Trump has just made it to the Capitol building, where he's going to be speaking in the House chamber within the next 7 minutes or so, to a joint session of Congress. Note, this is not a State of the Union, since Donald Trump has not been in the White House as long. We do not know who is the designated survivor. Now, the designated survivor is the person that if something happens in the Capitol building, that person, that one lone survivor, will have the unfortunate job of becoming president of the United States, where the original president of the United States were killed in some sort of massive attack, quote unquote. So we don't know who the designated survivor is. Okay, so right now entering the building, the associate justices, they're walking into the building, walking to the House chamber rather right now. So, we're trying to see, and again, I'm just trying to keep everybody updated on what's going on here. Yeah, so the associate justices just walked into the building, so they're going to see, if I'm not mistaken, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what I count is 6 out of the 8 associate justices. Soon 6 out of the 8 of the associate justices just entered the building. So we have. We're trying to see, again, just monitoring the situation. If anything breaks here, we will bring it to you. So yeah, so Trump is outside. Well, basically, hopefully at this point, inside of the building by now. 6 out of the 8 justices, by what I'm seeing, have entered the building, the House chamber. So right now, we're just waiting right now for the President of the United States. And on that note, since we have literally taken you to the top of the hour, thank you for watching this special edition of the News Now Nation, Trump's joint, the Trump speech. Will be on Ustream X after both the Trump and the Democratic response to Donald Trump's policy speech. For all of us here at the News Now Nation, this is Darrell Dukes reporting. And until we meet again, friends, stay gone.